So when you're reading your Achieve article, you have to start obviously in your inbox and you go to the last article that I assigned. Grandmas for Change is the one that you're reading now. And by the way, there are 4 here, so if you only got a 10 or a 20 out of 30 for the last activities that we did, you can read an extra one. But right now we are reading Grandmas for Change, so when you click it, you need to make sure you read all of this carefully. You are doing all of this. Always do the before poll, but then look at the vocabulary list, read and make sure you understand the whole article, take notes as you read, and if you do this, you will get 75% on the activity. Then you have to write a good thought question. So these are both really important. You do have to write a thought question, and we are doing it like this from now on, just like we did in the last one, but I want to make sure that you know what you're doing. So I'm hoping that it saved all of my notes. Do the poll, make sure you just answer with one sentence. And then when you go to the article, you will see that after each paragraph, I wrote a few notes about everything I read. And you want to not try to take the exact words. You want to put it in your own words. Read the whole paragraph, cover it up, write a couple notes that you remember. So under here, again, it's under setting the purpose. That's the only way it's going to save it, because then you click save, go to the next paragraph. It shouldn't take you more than about 10 or 15 minutes to read the article. But if you are taking notes like this, not only will you do better on the activity when you take the test, but you'll also be able to write a really good thought question with your own words. So under each paragraph, I really recommend making sure you get at least a few points. So here, this is, a group of 13 grandmas that meet every 6 months, and they talk about solutions to problems in the world. And they're from all over. They're not just Native American tribes, they're from all over the world that meet once a year. So anyway, you can see that after each one I have all my notes, and then what happens is when you go to the activity, well, actually after you take the test, make sure you get a 75%. Always go back to the article if you are confused about how to answer it. Make sure you're answering them correctly. And then when you go to the thought question, you will see that all your notes are already there. So now what your challenge is you want to make sure you read the prompt really carefully, and if necessary, put little subtitles in. I'm going to put the cursor at the front and move all my notes down. You don't have to delete any of these, but it says, imagine that you had a chance to interview members of the International Council of 13 Indigenous Women. Write at least 5 questions that you would ask. Explain why these questions are relevant to learning about the council. Use ideas from the articles as well as your own ideas to develop interview questions. So you have to make sure you are doing exactly this. The last one had to do with a comparison. This one is writing 5 questions. So I want to look at my notes here and think of some really good questions that I might use to write more about it if I were going to. So looking at the first part, I might ask, what are some of the big global issues that you face? And then the second part, you have to explain why these are relevant to learning about the council. And by the way, I don't like how this is all underlined. I would maybe take out the underline and then take out the bold when I'm actually writing. I am interested in whether or not these are issues that are already being discussed by world leaders and how we could make them more understood. Something like that. Anyway, it's all up to you, whatever you come up with. But you want to really make sure you're reviewing all your notes and doing what the prompt asked you to do. We are not writing full paragraphs this time, but you need to think of questions that are relevant and that are appropriate, obviously, that would be real. So then you would submit it and you are done. So make sure you do all of the steps in order on the classroom assignment, and you should finish this on Wednesday.